during her hunger strikes. Force feeding in prison in the time, it's a bit like waterboarding. The fundamental rights and privileges that we enjoy today. I'm going to say something briefly about what brought me here, indirectly. We're going to hit 1.5 degrees of global warming in 10 to 15 years. And the government's response is a plan to go net zero in 30 years. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I don't think that plan will work. When are they going to come clean? They're telling you it's okay. They're telling you it's okay, not because they think you and your family will be okay, but because they think they will be okay. Straight before COP26, they made short-haul air flights in this country cheaper. Straight after COP, they jailed 9 people who were demanding urgent action using existing technology. But they jailed those people using injunctions because they fear jury trials. Look at the Colston 4. Look at the XR Canary Wharf protesters and others. All acquitted by juries who are presented with the facts. The government is not winning. The government is fighting back. Thank you, yeah. So what are we going to do? Are we going to give up and go away? No. In July, there were floods across Europe that killed 242 people, and it shook people up. To see 242 lives taken away like this before we even reach 1.5 degrees. 242 lives taken needlessly. In the first 11 months of 2021 in East Africa, 260,000 children under the age of 5 died with acute malnutrition because of climate change. That's 100,000 times as many deaths, and it's only counting children under 5. And that's just one region of Africa that is bearing the brunt of...
They're very likely to, because of the government majority. We have a duty, as the last speaker said, sorry, sorry. We have a duty to resist. And oppose, like we did the poll tax, mass resistance, we brought it down. And we're in good company. Millions around the world, millions, fighting for justice.
We have to. The fact that they are not willing to do the right thing, we have to keep on disturbing them until there is a better change in justice. The Nationality and Border Bill make it illegal to seek asylum. To compare to my situation and where I am from, it's very dangerous for me to live in that country because of terrorists and the crisis there. For me, I was kidnapped, and luckily I got away from the kidnap. The city where terrorists are taking over is small. I cannot go back there because they know who I am. The government do not care about the situation. They just continue to damage my home country. For that reason, we have to go through trafficking, modern slavery, and trauma. This results in depression, and feeling always scared. The government wants a refugee to arrive legal, but there is no way that they can. It's hypocritical. The government wants to increase deportation. They do not consider what we are going through when they deport us. That will put us in danger. Detention centers are likely hell. Detention centers are like hell. They shouldn't have to exist. We are not criminals. We are here to ask for help and safety. Detention centers make you depressed and suicidal. No human deserves this, and no human is illegal. I have been there and I know how it is. It is awful and it is hell. And for me, it's not detention. It is prison. I am standing up for my freedom because right now it is traumatizing to even think about the detention center. I sincerely ask every one of you to help us, to help me and anyone in my situation. I have met many good people since I ever get in UK. One organization called Revoke, they are amazing charity organization who have helping me ever since I've been here. And it is helping me right now to be stable. Stand with me and stand up for your right. I hope all this will come to an end and we will all be free. None of us are free until we are all free. The era of injustice is over. Thank you for listening to me.
And cultures in this country have lived through and seen police brutality. From the Battle of Beanfield to the Battle of Orgreave, it can be a scary place to be as part of a minority. And racism still exists in our streets. If you're a young black male stopped and searched on the way to his grandma's for tea. We sit divided in a nation of silence, far too British to ask a stranger what the time is. They do not want you to love or accept each other. Hate thy brother for his skin colour. They do not want you to love or accept yourself. They want you to idolise someone else. In this country, they strike fear into the people who need them the most. Workers who wish to be free. We're a nation of mothers who are trying to feed thousands of children who are growing up looking for something to believe. Thousands of children who are going to grow up like me. But at least for my community, I can say I'm so fucking lucky. I was born into love, not a slave to this country, not a slave to the monster, to the beast deep beneath, the one who will write Boris Johnson's next speech, the one who burns down the village and can still sleep with peace. How can you wipe out a culture with the nod of your head? We're all here, you know. Why don't you talk to us instead? We can tell you all the things you just can't understand. How it is to grow up and live on the travelling land. About our lives which we haven't yet planned. And how to protect our culture, we will do everything that we can. So no, I'm not a slave to the person they want us to be. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, and I'm me. And you're you, you're here, we're gonna be fine. Some days will come sun, some days we might cry. But I promise we will live this way for the rest of our lives. So fuck off trying to end us. Now's not the time. Fuck off trying to end us. We're too strong to die.
Landscape. Can you hear the quiet moaning that cuts through silence? Only the drone of cars and the wind, clunk of gates and keys jangling. Residents withdraw behind their doors and hug their sorrows alone. Behind the smiles, such tales of woe, it makes me weep. Hear the true face of justice, its bullying punishments exposed. Inequity goes deep, right down to the rushed incompetence of legal aid lawyers, struggling to make a living for themselves. Only the listening, the held breath, the true agony of this. While I was in prison, I also thought, you know, if we could value those 85,000 people, 8,500 people, 8,500 people a year, 85,000 people who died over 10 years, if we could put a monetary value on it, well, that's absurd. Their lives are priceless. But if we don't put a monetary value on them, their lives are not valuable at all. They're not valued in a society that can only speak in terms of money. So I did a mental calculation in using a medical model and came out with a minimum ballpark value of £4.25 billion of those 85,000 lives dead over the 10 years. But we don't have values for that. We don't have values in terms of money for our natural world, for the thriving oceans, for all the things.
Hey, please. Come on.
About winning. We need to fight this bill. Even if it becomes law, we need to continue. We need to protest more about all the things that we know matter. And yes, that means that there will be consequences for some of us. In 1961, Diane Nash was told to abandon the Freedom Rides, which challenged racial segregation on buses in the deep south of the US. She was told that she would get herself killed. She replied that she and her 9 fellow travellers, because yes, the second wave of the Freedom Rides was 10 people, she replied that she...
Stories that make you feel uncomfortable and helping raise awareness. It's about being there for each other in the face of adversity. Real allyship. Real allyship is community spirit. Real allyship means facing our problems together. Real allyship means standing together to fight for change and leaving no one behind. The police will tell you they are part of our community. The police will tell you more cops in schools and community events that they oversee will reduce violent crime. The violent suppression teams mirroring dangerous role models for the NAP